How's it going? It's Nick here. Gonna go over that micro portion of the video that I put up yesterday because the editing was kind of crap. So we're gonna go over it. I'm gonna elaborate on certain points more, and let's see if we get more out of it because I think it was pretty good. Some good trading using the micros. Let's see. I got a pen so I could draw. No, it's not working. All right, getting into it. Now I took out all those crappy transitions, so it's not going to cut out the video anymore. Um, we see here, really nice sell-off, and then to VWAP. All right, this is where I planned on building a position for a bounce. This is a key level in my higher time frame analysis. When I trade on my second monitor, I got the higher time frames up, and I'm watching market profile, volume profiles, and all that stuff. So that in conjunction with VWAP, in conjunction with the order flow here, it looked like there was going to be support here. Doesn't mean there will be, but that's what it looked like to me. So I decided the best way for me to build a position here and not just get stopped out a million times is to reduce my size with micros. So my plan here is to just use micros, and anytime we are near VWAP to try to build a position. Definitely could have done a much better job with this. I'm glad I'm reviewing this because I see that I didn't really stick to my plan, and we'll see that in this first trade here as it's working, and it's working well, and it pushes up. I'm stuck in my ways, and I take profits. So we're in one micro here, got in at a pretty good price. This video is sped up because this took a while to play out. And we're just gonna dance around this level here, around 93. It's already looking pretty good. I thought it was gonna hold and maybe go right then and there, so I added a contract. We're at 2 micros now. It's not ready to go yet, but it's fine because we hold this level pretty well. And at any time sellers try to push it down, the buyers immediately answer, push it right back up. So that's good. That's what we want to see. Hits VWAP again. They're holding it. This is right here. This is where you're thinking, okay, I probably need to cut this trade. So I'm just watching the order flow, and if the order flow confirms like this is going to continue to go down, you just got to cut the trade. But I'm trying not to rush into that decision yet. Down 295 on the position. That's not terrible. When I'm trading the minis and I'm going for those quick order flow scalps, when I'm stopped out, it's normally about 200 bucks. And I get stopped out all of the time. But as we see here, it's holding this price. I see it holding. I want to add. 1 got filled. So now I'm at 5. Would have been nice if 2 were filled. As it starts working, I added another 5. And then just to kind of manage the position, it pushed up, and as it approaches this resistance, took off 5, but now it looks like I want to take all of it off. And this is where I was saying, like, that's not sticking to my plan. My plan was build a position here for a reversal. And what do? The first time I have a nice position and it starts moving up, I'm immediately taking profits. So we'll start down here. It moves up real quick. I'm in 5. See it holding, see it holding. It moves up. I added 5 immediately. Then I took 5 out, and I took another 5 out. Should have held on there. I think I realized I made that mistake because I jumped back in with 2. That's all right because now we have a smaller position, and we can start building it back up again. looks like it's gonna work. I'm adding. I just added 4 more contracts. It's getting stuck. Added 8. It took off 4. All right, so if you can see this, we're at 2. As it's pushing up, I added 2. I added 4. Pushes up, and right there, sellers immediately started pushing it down. They made it pretty far right there. Buyers are trying to hold it, but for me, this is showing weakness, and this is a spot of resistance. So I think I make the right call right here and reduce my size. Right there I added 2, but then I took off 4. So I was up to 8. It's starting to show weakness. Now I'm down to 4. I'm going to kind of recycle shares and hold a core position. A little aggressive on that attitude there, but it's holding these higher levels. Problem is, if it comes back down, am I going to be quick enough to reduce that position size to then create a better average down? So having a game plan is the key to this being successful. If you're like, if you're long to contracts up here and it pushes down, you get into there, you're like, oh, it's gonna hold, but then it continues down, and then you just keep adding as this is going down. That is where you're gonna run into issues, and that's gonna be destruction to your account. So you need to have a plan. If your plan was, all right, I'm just gonna build a position with this consolidation in hopes that we make new highs, to stick to the plan, because it's invalidated when it goes down here, and that's where you'll get into a lot of trouble if you try averaging. And there's some popular YouTubers, and they just throw on random trades, and you're like, why did you enter there? They're just like sitting there. They're just kind of like, they look like they're focusing intently. Oh, I'll buy. And you're like, what made you buy? Just because it went down pretty far? What made you buy? And then it'll go against them like $1,500, and they'll just be like, and then they'll put on another one, averaging down, and you're like, what is the plan here? So have a plan. Averaging down could be very destructive, very destructive. That's why so many people say, don't add to a loser. And you'll see here, when we start approaching down here, this drawdown gets a little bit better. It's working now. We're holding. I added 2. We're up to 8. Still seeing the buying support. But starting to show weakness here. It's just back and forth. So good, I didn't take anything off there, where usually on a push up like that I would just take it. Probably would have worked out though. You get back in lower, and just build that position a little bit better. Up to 10 there. Should have stayed with 8. Should have stayed with 8, because if this approaches VWAP more, you're gonna want to add there. That's gonna help your position. Now you have more risk in case it goes back down to VWAP. I think it's just because I saw it holding this level so well, but right there is where I should have reduced my position size. Instead, I added 2. Fortunately, this level was really good support. This test down was immediately answered. This could have been anything. This could have been them just trying to stop people out before launch again. That's exactly what it looked like. So let's watch that again. Watch how fast this happens and see what we can see in the order flow here. Can't even like see it. That is momentum. That's the momentum that you want. So this is good and bad. It's good because you made profit. It's bad because this is what we were waiting for. I'm in this with 12. It pushes up, and then I start selling into strength. That's okay. That's good. That's good. You know, sellers are pushing this down pretty good. That's not bad. I do get back in with more, so I kind of try to play with that initial reaction down by the sellers. That's good. But what's bad is I built this position for a reversal. It is currently reversing. So now I don't have a position as it goes up. So I'm gonna what? I get in with 5 to try to catch momentum, and I take the 5 because I know I'm late. And that was that. I mean, that's the reversal we were looking for. Um, Still a good trade, but it could always do better. Now we're just kind of consolidating, taking a breather after that. Sellers are like, oh, nope. We're trying to push it down, but it doesn't get too far. Um, in my mind, I'm like, well, this could have been the rotation. 430 ticks up, and then we could go back down. So we don't know what's going to happen. So I'm just trying to keep an open mind in my trade, not marrying one side. I think it's holding here. So I start a long position. 2 contracts, you know, that's not much. Just gonna kind of dance around. I don't think I sped up this portion. This this section of the trades is pretty quick before we go to the next one. We're just holding here too. As it starts working right there, I should be adding. Okay, a little late, but I did it. Up to 10, so up to 1 full mini. It starts getting stuck. Took off half. This is kind of, I think that's the right call. I put just 5 in just to see if it would work. Now I'm trying to do a cut and reverse to walk it down with 2. It gets stuck immediately, and I'm like, I messed up. So I put 5. Sorry, I did another. I put 5, and then as this goes up, I'll change it back to 5. As this goes up, I'm going to do another cut and reverse. So you'll see. So that now I'm long 3. Looks like the momentum's going. But I didn't cut and reverse again, which I should have. That's goes down. I mean, you could get an endless loop, and if you're on the wrong side of it, it could be bad. But this was poor right here. So I mean, you're not in trouble yet because this could be support, and it turns out it is. But I was really aggressive, going from 3 to 9 as this was going down, because there's nothing stopping it from going all the way back down to VWAP. I already thought earlier maybe this rotation was complete, um, but this ends up working in my favor. Probably some luck, but it did look like the buyers were still just being really aggressive. And later in the day you find out, yeah, there's a reason for that, and it just takes off. I should have added to this. I think it caught me by surprise. I should have been way quicker to add to this. I sold 6 into strength. I'm trying to let 3 run, which I do. It runs up a little bit more. It's showing weakness. The sellers are holding it. I get out of my 3. But I mean, this ends up trending the whole afternoon. This is a reversal we were looking for. Probably wouldn't have hurt trying to just hold and not just take the wins. I mean, the wins worked out great, but you're still leaving some on the table because you're having to get back into a position. But it also works out good though if you could build your position back lower. So if you could successfully kind of ride it up and then try to get in lower. All right, this is the last trade of the day. I got off at 3 o'clock. Momentum's picking up. Got in 5. Got in 10 super quick. I was being so aggressive, but I get my stop there, so I wasn't going to let that go against me too much. It immediately starts working. I should be adding this. Okay, I added 15, got 15, I'm trailing it. It's moving up. I'm taking out 5 into strike, 5 into strike. Let's stop moving. I got out of my position. And I think it doesn't go up much further here, and it consolidates for about a half an hour. So pretty happy with that. Did a lot with micros today, or yesterday. I'm just redoing this video. Um, Micros add a lot of flexibility because you could kind of work those positions. It's impossible to get in at the right price all the time, and you're just gonna be struggling with getting stopped out and having the trade work in the direction that you wanted it to work, but without you. And now you have to kind of jump back in, kind of chase. So kind of excited to experiment more with micros. I don't want to do this with minis yet because if I do a bad job, that could be pretty destructive. So did it kind of small with micros this day. I had a cushion from the morning trading with the minis, and I like it. I actually like it a lot. I like being able to work positions like that and kind of play with it. So I'm gonna keep doing that next week. Might have some more videos of micros, might not. um, yeah, we're just gonna keep working at it to get better. I'm excited. Hopefully next week's great. See you then.